What's going on, everybody? Blvzingnieko, and we are back with yet another shoe review. This shoe has been regarded to as probably the sneaker of the year for most people on YouTube, most people that have been following shoes throughout the year. But without further ado, here we are, the Jordan 1 Lost and Found. The Jordan 1 Lost and Found officially released on November 19th, 2022. We actually had exclusive access for these a few days before the official release on Nike Sneakers app. This was specifically reserved for people that had more than 20 Jordan 1 losses when it comes to trying to purchase a Jordan 1 through the Nike Sneakers app. This wasn't for every account that had more than 20 losses, but I'm assuming that it was randomized and they chose throughout the people that had more than 20 losses on the Jordan 1s. So shout out to everybody that actually was able to get these early and to hit that exclusive access. I was not one of those lucky people. I definitely have more than 20 losses on Jordan 1s throughout. I've been a Nike member since 2016. So 6 years running, I definitely have more than 20, but congratulations to everybody that got exclusive access on that. The Jordan 1 Chicago also had a sneakers pass in a lot of cities. I heard there was a lot of pairs per Nike store. We had a sneaker pass in my city. I was not able to hit any sizes for these on the sneaker pass, but it would have been really cool to have picked these up directly from Nike themselves. I actually won this pair, my actual size for retail, from JD Sports. The Jordan 1 Chicago, aka Lost and Found, is probably the most sought after shoe this year. We've been talking about this shoe for months now. The only thing that I can see being a higher demand was probably some Travis Scotts, but obviously we don't see the stock numbers like we did for this shoe in particular. The Chicago 1 has not released since 2015. That pair has, since the Last Dance documentary, it has just skyrocketed, and they're more than $1,000. You can find used pairs for almost $1,000, which is crazy. The 2013 pair, most people don't really like those as much because they come with the Jordan sign on the back heel, and they also come with the Jordan tag on the tongue. When we first saw images of these shoes, I can't lie, I was not the biggest fan of the materials with the cracked leather on the toe caps and the white areas, and also the cracked leather along the heel collar and the black. I did not like the pre-distressed look as much as I thought I would in person, but seeing more and more in-hand pictures and in-hand videos, they really grew on me. Just being able to finally add a Chicago 1 to the collection was a huge thing for me personally. I do not mind the materials as much. Do I wish they were, you know, the smoother leathers or the leathers we see on like a Bread Toe 1? Yes, sure, but it's kind of cool to have this different rendition that probably won't ever release again in a form like this. So it's great to finally add these to the collection, and these will definitely not be leaving. Throughout the last 6 to 12 months, Jordan Brand has really been introducing this cracked leather to us. In my eyes, I think they're kind of trying to gear us up to what the Jordan 1 Lost and Found Chicago will look like. Kind of trying to pique our interest and see that if this will actually take off the way that they think it will. Nike has really been going towards their kind of vintage type of shoes because that's kind of the style right now. As you can see with the midsoles, not completely white. The tongue kind of has that yellow tint as well. People really love the vintage. That's why they went with a lot of people love the 1985s, the original. And most of the shoes do look like this with the heel collars actually cracking instead of having that cracked leather effect. I will say I will never have a pair of Jordan 1 high Chicagos from 1985. They go thousands of dollars, which is just crazy, especially for a shoe. I usually like my shoes looking newer. I keep my shoes in pretty good condition, but some people like the vintage look, and I can't knock them for that. To each their own. But I'm so happy to finally have these in the collection. Something I do want to look at in comparison to a normal pair of Jordan 1s. You can see that the toe cap is a little bit more wrapped over the toe, as such my Jordan 1 bread toe has. A little bit higher wrapped over the toe cap of the shoe. Not too much, it's definitely a little subtle, but you can definitely tell in comparison to another Jordan 1. Now when it comes to the height of the Jordan 1 High Chicago, or AKA Lost and Found, I would say that it is pretty close to our typical Jordan 1s. As you can see, it might actually be slightly shorter than this bread toe. Now if we take a look in comparison to my Jordan 1 High 85 in the Georgetown colorway, the toe boxes are a lot more similar. I would say they're almost identical to the Jordan 1 High Chicago. Obviously, the materials are a lot different. They gave us the cracked leather to give us the vintage look on these. Let's take a look at the height of them. I don't see that big of a difference. Nike wanted to be more true to the OGs, the 1985 pair. You can see kind of the Nike Air on the tongue is a lot more retro, like the original 85, in comparison to our normal Jordan 1s nowadays, with kind of the newer font for the Nike Air on the tongue tab.
Now let's take a quick look at the resale prices. Small sizes are looking like upper 200s to mid 300s. As we creep into men's sizes, we're kind of at the lower 400s and we creep up to the mid 400s as well for this. Those prices are for GOAT, of course. Let's take a look at StockX. This is a screenshot of a size 10.5s. Still about that 436, mid 400 prices. Here's a whole breakdown. Prices are pretty similar across both platforms.
As I mentioned, I was not the biggest fan of the cracked white leather and the cracked black leather along the heel collar, but since having these in hand, man, I cannot complain. This is a beautiful shoe, such a classic colorway, so much history behind this shoe. Just the storytelling of the shoe in general. These will never leave the collection. These might be an art piece that kind of sits on my shoe shelf or just as display. I might give them a wear or two here and there, you know, for special occasions, but I'm just so happy to finally have this shoe in my collection. As always, I want to thank you guys for your love and support. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video so we can keep these coming. As always, thank you guys. See you guys next time.